Welcome to the Cherry Picker After Dark. The whatever. I don't think we have a thing for it. This is just we kind of make it up as we go along. So
Yeah.
Hey Eddie.
Hi. Oh, no, but while she's in here, she might as well get that thing done. That thing on her face. You know that thing? Am I the only one that's noticed that thing? It's Eddie of Edward is Truth. Hi.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to like slow down the momentum of the usual thing. If you guys have probably watched the episode that we did for season 1, where we went through and ranked and discussed and analyzed all of those episodes. For this episode for season 2, we've actually recalibrated our ranking system because we cannot agree on anything.
No,
we can't, and it was like, there was just way too much argument. Like the episode ran way too long, so we've made it so there's two rankings. So you'll just see, like, you can't see it right now, Eddie, but on the screen, there's this. It's the same categories. Do you want to list them off if you remember what they were? The quotes.
Not if
that
I remember.
You used?
I have them in my hand. Okay, from the top down because they get funnier. Top tier, number 1 is, it's who you are. And that's not really Kendra's accent, but I don't want to try to do Kendra's accent.
I don't know how she even did that accent.
I love her so much. Spoilers.
Oh, really?
Okay.
We'll talk. Okay.
Second,
we'll talk about that.
we're going to get there. Second tier, just below that, is I, for one, am giddy and up. And that's Buffy. Mm-hmm. Who says it? But and then the third tier, just below that, is I can live with it, and that's Giles, who says it. And these are all quotes from season 2. And the fourth tier, below that, is I'm tired of doing that thing, and that's Xander. Mm-hmm. And then the bottom tier is, could this get yuckier? And that's Buffy, who says that one as well. So Buffy's still in the majority
of the
quotes.
Was that?
That one was from Some Assembly Required when she finds out about, we'll get there.
Okay, so basically we've got just double that. So I'll just make the top half of it my ranking, and the bottom half will be Edward's. Shall we get started, or is there any other...
Yes. No, because all of my stuff, my rebuttals and my responses will come out as we discuss. All right,
so we're starting with When She Was Bad, season 2, episode 1. Like, I like it. There's a lot of residual season 1 stuff, which is, can't be avoided because the whole episode she's kind of dealing with dying and killing the master and all that. So it just, like, there's parts to the episode that I just despise, which is kind of like I don't know if they have a name, but like just whatever the vampires are, it's like the order of, they always have some silly name that's led by the Anointed One, who's still like hanging around, and there's the one vampire who he's like dressed like a pirate, and it's just like all that just feels like like this is just so antiquated by where, like, we've seen that, we've done that. So I hate all the shit to do with like the bad guys in that episode and like resurrecting the master. Like when they're digging through the thing and the one guy's like, it burns the ground. It's consecrated. Is that what the word is that he used?
Yes. Yeah.
and the kid is just like, keep digging. And I'm like, fuck you. I don't like any of you. Like, you're boring. So I hated that, but I loved everything to do with like Buffy and her, shall we say, Joan Collins. Tude. And I love the fact that Cordelia is like, of course, the person who calls her out on that, and their exchange. That might have been one of my favorite moments from the episode, because anytime Cordelia is on the screen, but especially when she like barbs with Buffy, because it's just like, I don't really like you. But I feel like no one else is gonna tell you this. But you're being a real bitch, and it just Buffy's rebuttal of just like, as defending champ, you worried? Or whatever her line is.
Right. I can hold my own.
Yeah.
Yeah. She says it like a cowgirl, too. It's almost like you hear, da-da-da-da, because they're standing across the street from each other or across the alley from each other.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you expect one of them to draw. Not really, but I mean, I just love the fact that it's like, one's bitchcraft has come, up against another's bitchcraft.
Yeah.
And Cordy is not daunted in the least. She's actually doing her a favor. And what I love about that moment is that when we were discussing Halloween 2018 a couple weeks ago, we were kind of like discussing, I guess, the detriment you could do to someone by telling them, get over it. And yet, I love the fact that that's exactly what Cordelia tells Buffy in that moment, because for Buffy, I feel like that's exactly what she needed to hear. And I didn't write vast notes. I just wrote favorites and least favorites. And at the top of the list of favorites, it's Cordelia confronting Buffy, and just below that, Buffy's cathartic destruction of the Master's remains, that emotionality you were describing earlier. This is kind of like the first preview of it. It's really there. It's not like a preview, but considering how deep she does mine later in the season, it just kind of opens the door. And I lost it then. I was just kind of yeah, I'm really easy. If I care, I'm really easy. But
it took me at least a handful of episodes before I got to a point. But,
no, I'm this show's bitch. And then my least favorites, it's not a criticism least favorites, but it's just so hard to watch. The fucking dance she does with Xander, and the fact that it's hurting Willow, it's hurting Angel. Yeah. Buffy is not going to follow through on any of this. She's just kind of not even teasing, because I think that's a loaded word, but she's just playing with her power.
She's pushing the boundary. She's just seeing how far she can get away with. I thought that was what, because you know how I feel about Xander, so I didn't really care that she was what she did. I actually thought that she's did I ever thank you for saving me? No, don't you wish I would, or whatever the line is. But what did piss me off is when she just kind of walked by Willow without even acknowledging her, just grabbed her jacket and kept walking by. That was cold. That was some cold shit. But I mean, the thing that pissed me off the most in this episode was the sort of full housey way that it ended, when she comes back into the classroom and she's unsure of how the friends are gonna respond to her, and then she sits down, and then Willow and Xander are hey, blah, blah, and then they're having you don't hear what they're saying, but there's this music playing. It's the feel good as it's circling around them. I'm just this is so beneath this show. I hate this. But then it was kind of amended a little bit, because then it cuts to the Anointed One, who I hate anyway. But he's walking over the crushed bones. He's what does he say? He's I hate that girl.
I hate that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm exactly the opposite. That moment for me, because the show doesn't tap into that all that often. I don't associate that kind of thing with the show. Yeah. I think it gets some leeway for it, because what I get from that moment is just kind of good, this is what I want. I want my friend group back. I want them to be okay with each other and to be quipping and everything like that, so they can do that in the next episode and for the rest of the season. I want that. And what I did, because I really can't stand the Anointed One. He's the other least favorite thing for me about this episode. I'm God, he's still fucking around. That fucking Anointed One. I don't find him interesting. I feel like he was created to kind of be some
Darla's
kind of
replacement.
No, but beyond that, I feel, because he's more special than Darla is.
No.
The way he's built up. No. I'm not saying he's special. I'm saying he's built up to be more special, because the Master, yes, thank you, wants to preserve him, and everything must make way for the Anointed One or whatever. Yeah. And I just he's a dead end. I think the whole idea is that he's supposed to be the innocence of a child balanced, or juxtaposed with.
I don't think he
malice,
was ever
the threat of a thing.
supposed to be anything farther than how far he makes it in this season.
I think he just didn't work. I think they put him in, they thought, he's not interesting, and they're we need to write him out.
But I mean, it's also a child actor playing an immortal being. They were going to have to get rid of him at some point before he has a growth spurt. Okay, so where do you put this one?
I put this one. Here, my phone just closed. I have this one in. I can live with it.
You can live with it?
Yeah, I can live with it.
Okay. Oh wow.
Because I'm not happy and up about it. Giddy and up. I can live with it.
Now you're making me reconsider because I was gonna put it in I for One I'm Giddy and Up.
Oh.
But you liked it so much better than me. But see, this is why it's.
Yeah, this is why you and I.
I'm gonna put it in I can live with it for now. Mm-hmm. And I might move it later.